Army of the Dead is directed by Zack Snyder. It stars Dave Bautista, Ella Purnell, Amari Hardwick, Ana de la Reguera, and Theo Rossi. Army of the Dead is a zombie apocalypse movie, and this film focuses on a zombie outbreak that happened in Las Vegas. A group of mercenaries, they attempt to pull off the greatest heist that's ever been attempted. And by doing that, they are basically creating the greatest risk that they could possibly face during this time. And we have our movie. Army of the Dead will be released on Netflix this Friday, May 21st. I saw this movie a couple of days ago in theaters with a friend of mine. We got the chance to watch this on the big screen, and we were really happy about that because this film seems like one of those movies you have to see on the big screen. So, Army of the Dead, I was excited for it. I was not hyped, but I was still intrigued by the trailer. I like zombie movies in general, so I wanted to see Army of the Dead. So, how was the movie? Army of the Dead, I have to say, it was a blast. This movie is so much fun. I'm so glad I got to see this movie on the big screen. Army of the Dead is a really enjoyable zombie film. It's one of the best zombie movies I've seen in years, if I'm being honest. So let's talk about Army of the Dead. Let's talk about the acting. Everyone does a good job, but by far the standout is Dave Bautista. I used to watch wrestling as a kid. Okay, I stopped watching in 2009, and Dave Bautista was one of my favorite wrestlers growing up. So seeing him in movies, it's been nice seeing him in big Hollywood films and just seeing him change his career the way he did. I remember the first time I saw him was in Guardians of the Galaxy, and we all loved him as the character Drax. And he's basically played a lot of comedic roles, not in Blade Runner 2049, but he's only in the beginning of that movie. But still, he's been known for being a really funny actor. In this movie, this is not his role. His role is a much more serious take on the character. He is definitely more dramatic, and I thought he was fantastic. This is definitely one of Dave Bautista's best performances that I've seen, and he definitely carries the movie on his shoulders. He is great as a lead role. He is believable. He has a traumatic past that you see how that affects him, how it affects his relationship with his daughter, and how it basically affects his mission in some ways. I thought he was great. And like I said, so is everyone else. The characters are very likable. I cared for the characters here, and it's refreshing to see a zombie movie where you have characters that are likable, they're funny, and they are well thought out. They all have a major role. Props to Zack Snyder for having a lot of female characters, not just be the type of people that the main characters would have to save. Like, they all definitely carried on their own. They're all badasses. They're all useful. And every character here, like I said, I enjoyed every character. I'll admit that there are some moments where some of the jokes don't really land, although I mostly found myself laughing at the jokes. And let's talk about the action scenes and the horror sequences, because this is a zombie movie after all. And I have to say, man, this movie is crazy. It's chaotic. This is one of those movies that is very self-aware of what it is, and it embraces its chaotic nature and how over the top it is. If you're down with that, you're going to have a wonderful time with this film. I can guarantee you. As I said before, this is the type of film you have to see on the big screen. It's a shame that only select theaters are going to be playing this movie for a week. And Netflix should honestly have a longer contract with theaters to have people see this movie on the big screen, because this film has a big budget, obviously. And I have to tell you, watching it on the big screen and sharing it with people, that is so different than just watching it at home on Netflix. I understand there are people who have very big TVs and they have like their own theater system at home, but still, it's just not the same, in my opinion. In any case, this film looks beautiful. Zack Snyder is behind the camera this time, not just as a director, but as the cinematographer. And like his film earlier this year, Zack Snyder's Justice League, the Snyder Cut. Those movies, that movie in particular, that has images that look like paintings on the wall. And the same thing could be said about Army of the Dead. Army of the Dead is very beautiful looking. The zombies are crazy. There's different types of zombies. And I'm not going to spoil it because I didn't know this prior to watching the movie, but the zombies are a little different than what you may expect. Like I said, it's very over the top. It's very chaotic, but it embraces those things. The music is great. This movie is 2.5 hours long. Now, here's the thing with Zack Snyder. I don't like all of his movies. I like most of his movies, but even the ones that I like, I can admit that they tend to go over long. They're longer than they need to be. I never thought this movie dragged. Could this movie have been shorter? Sure. Yeah, I suppose there are some scenes that could have been shorter. I mean, it wasn't a problem for me, but I can see some people thinking that 2.5 hours for this film might be too much. But for the majority of the time, I was having such a blast. I don't really have much else to say because this was such a fun movie. Is this movie original? Is it going to offer thought-provoking themes? No. This is a zombie film that knows exactly what it is. It's Dawn of the Dead on steroids. If you ask me what I like more, Dawn of the Dead or Army of the Dead, you know, Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead, I prefer Army of the Dead easily. Not even a contest for me. And Zack Snyder's having a hell of a year. I really enjoyed the Snyder cut of Justice League, and I really enjoyed this film. I'm going to give Army of the Dead an 8 out of 10. Very enjoyable zombie film. One of the best zombie films I've seen in years. It's a very fun heist film. It's funny. The characters are likable. Definitely see this movie when it comes on Netflix this Friday, May 21st. You're going to have a blast. If you go in expecting Citizen Kane or Pulp Fiction, why? Just don't do that. If you do that, you're not going to like this movie, more than likely. And that's my review of Army of the Dead. 8 out of 10. Definitely go see it. If it's playing near you in theaters still, try your best to see this film at a theater. Trust me, it'll be worth it. Yeah, so Army of the Dead, an 8 out of 10. Thank you guys for watching my review of Army of the Dead. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll take it into consideration in regards to you wanting to see this film or not. My next review will be The Underground Railroad, the Amazon Prime miniseries that is directed by Barry Jenkins. I'm more than halfway done with that, so I hope to have a review for you guys in a couple of days or so. Look forward to that soon. I will see you guys next time with my review of The Underground Railroad. So make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, share the video if you want, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.